Greetings and salutations, everyone, and good evening. This is Swedish Jeff 2024, and I want to begin by thanking everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channel. It's been a while since I've had subscribers, and it's been a while since I've made videos, so I want to thank Dave Gardner again for giving the plug and promoting my channel. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. And I have had more traffic in the last 24 or 48 hours than I've had in probably the last 24, 48 months. So I really appreciate it. And I'm going to try to get some more stuff, not just sports related stuff and APBA stuff, but other contents here I'm thinking about putting up on this channel, and we'll definitely keep you posted. The reason why I'm coming on tonight is I want to talk about this book here that was recommended to me on the Discord forum for the Digital to Dice podcast. This is a book called Split Season 1981 by Jeff Katz, and I've only read one chapter, but this is a very, very good book. Very detailed, lots of good stuff in here that I didn't even know about. And as many of you know, I am replaying the 1981 baseball season. And that's the reason why I have the Phillies hat on tonight, is because at that time, they were my favorite team. And they had just come off the World Series championship, beating the Kansas City Royals. And some people think that the 81 Phillies team was actually better than the 1980 Phillies team. I don't know about that, but they were still a pretty good team. And that era was really the end of their golden era from 1976 to 1981. And after that year, they were eliminated by the Expos in the League Division Series, the first one that they ever had in Major League Baseball. And the team got split up after that. They were sold. Bill Giles became the new owner, and Dallas Green went to Chicago, and Philadelphia traded away a lot of their players. They gave up some really good talent. They had Julio Franco, George Bell, Mark Davis, of course, Ryne Sandberg, Bob Dernier. They had a slew of prospects that they gave away. So it's going to be fun to play. It is fun playing 1981, but I highly recommend this book here because Jeff Katz is the author, and so far I'm really enjoying what I'm reading because there is a lot of stuff here that I don't know. It's a very easy read. It's not too cumbersome, and he doesn't put a lot of legalese in there where you're going to be having your eyes glazed over. It's very good, and it talks a lot about baseball. Yes, it does talk about the labor talks and the strike, but so far I'm really enjoying it. And I am also really enjoying my 1981 season replay. And I had something that happened yesterday that had not happened yet. What I'm doing is I'm going back to the schedule and I'm playing the games as originally scheduled, starting with April, going all the way through the calendar year into October. There was a game I played yesterday between the Montreal Expos and the Pittsburgh Pirates, which was April 11th, 1981. And that was originally supposed to be a 3-game series. It only was a 2-game series because that game on April 11th, 1981, which was a Saturday, got rained out. And it never got made up. But it got played in my game. And what I did was I looked at the rotation to see who the next starter would have logically been, the next starter in the rotation, who would have pitched next in that game. And I looked at the lineups on the APBA website to see which were the most frequently used lineups. And that's what I did. Montreal ended up winning that series 2 out of 3, and they look really good. They are really a solid team, and as much as I want to see the Phillies win, I think that Montreal will take that division. So that's what's going on in the 81 replay. And 1981, I also have for the football game, as you know, and I've only played the one game, and I want to get back to playing the football game. I really do, because I really enjoyed playing that Cowboys 49ers game, the replay of the championship game. And I want to get back to it later in the summer, which sounds like a long time. And I don't even know if I can wait that long, because I want to dedicate my time and resources to the baseball game and play that. But I can't wait. I just can't wait to get back into it. But I want to really start the 81 football season. And some of you might be wondering, why 1981? Well, with baseball, it was because of the strike. And there are 3 seasons that I've said that I would like to get. I want to get more than the 3, of course, but the 3 main seasons that I would love to play are 1981, 1994, and 2020. 81, there was a strike that interrupted the middle of the season, and then they started playing the games again in August. 94, the strike ended the season, and then in 2020 we had COVID, which completely changed the whole world, let alone the baseball world. And we ended up getting a 60-game schedule, which, I'm sorry, I know that it was a challenge, and there were many challenges that year, but you can't have a legitimate, just my opinion, I don't think you can have a legitimate baseball season with 60 games any more than you can have a legitimate football season like they did in 82 with the 9-game schedule. That's half the season pretty much wiped out. And Major League Baseball, to me, this is going to be a controversial thing to say, perhaps an unpopular thing to say, but I think that, honestly, if Major League Baseball would have decided to just pull the plug on the 2020 season, I would not have been upset. I would not have been upset, because to me, 60 games is just not enough to play a legitimate baseball season. I think 100 minimum, and 100 would have been, that's what they played in 81, but a 60-game schedule. So to me, again, this is going to be controversial. The 2020 season, to me, I don't really count. I'm sorry. I just don't count. And the Cubs, my favorite team now, won the division that year. And to me, it just didn't feel like real baseball. There were no fans at the ballpark. They had the cardboard cutouts and that piped in audience noise. Somebody said it right. They were telling me that at the time, they said, you know what? This is like living in the Twilight Zone. It really was like a Twilight Zone episode. There was nobody on the streets. Everybody's, inside, and nobody was at the games. It was just such a strange, crazy time. And especially in baseball, having a 60-game schedule. So I would love to play 2020 as it was originally scheduled if COVID had never happened. Talk about the Twilight Zone, right? So that is something that as one of the seasons. So 1981, I got the baseball season, and then I started thinking about getting the APBA football game. What season did I want? I wanted 83, sold out. Wanted 85, sold out. I wanted 87, sold out. So I saw that 81 was available, and I hesitated. I waited about a couple of days, and then I said, I need to get this because it'll be gone. It was just intuition that said, you better get it because it's going to be gone. And sure enough, I ordered it. It was available. And then there was a delay. on the payment. And I emailed APBA, and I have to give APBA credit here. I know that I have heard horror stories about APBA, about their customer service. I judge people and I judge companies not by what other people tell me. I want to judge them for me, what I experience, all my own experiences. And I can honestly tell you that APBA has absolutely stepped up, and they have been excellent. And they really did respond back within 5 minutes. I got an email within 5 minutes. That's unheard of for most places, to get a response back in 5 minutes. Hey, just checking on my order. Did everything go through okay? Yes, it's sold out currently, but we're restocking it and it will ship as soon as possible. And I got it within a week. And it was there, and it was in pristine condition. The cards had that nice APBA football smell to them and everything. And the next thing that I did was I told them, I said, hey, I want to give kudos here, because I want to recognize when people give good service, and I really gave them high marks and accolades for what they did. And just as when you get bad service, you want to be critical and say, listen, the service that I got for whatever company it is, it could be a restaurant, it could be a grocery store or an online company. You can be critical and say, listen, the service that I got was substandard, and here is why. And you can go, and there are people that do that online. The one thing that I don't like to do is just be, this sucks, this is terrible, this is crap, without specifying why. I don't want to say that. I just say, listen, the service I got was substandard, it wasn't very good. And to give a little bit of details why, this happened, that happened. And thankfully, that has rarely happened to me. I've been very lucky. And certainly when it comes to APBA or Stratomatic or Out of the Park or any of these companies, these games that we play, I really haven't had any bad experiences with them. And when it comes to APBA, they responded. And the one thing that I will tell you, someone who's worked in the business world, just to give you a little background, I used to work in the video store business for about a decade. In the 90s, I worked for a local video chain here for almost a decade, and we got bought out by Blockbuster, and I worked there for about a couple months, and then that's a long story. That's for another video. And then I ended up going to another local company, and I learned a lot from that. I've been working in finance now for the last 24 years. Hard to believe. That's what I do now. But prior to that, I worked in the video store, reminding people to rewind. And the one thing, I've learned many things, but one of the things that I've learned about in business is that if you can be respectful when you criticize, and this doesn't just apply to business, but this is just for people in general, is if you've got to be critical, like talking about, say, poor service that you got from APBA, is if you were to call the company and you're angry, you're frustrated, but you're not throwing a temper tantrum and you're not cursing somebody out and using excessive profanity and cursing them out. If you were to just say, listen, I'm not happy with the service that I've gotten here, and I know that it's not you, I'm not angry with you, but I'm frustrated with the situation because, I paid good money to get this product or this service and it's not working, or I'm having to wait, or whatever it is. My point here is that if you are calm and you're rational about it, they will work with you. Most companies will work with you, and they're much more willing to work with you if you are mature and rational, instead of, hey, where's your supervisor? I want to talk to the manager now. This sucks. When you just start ranting and raving, they're going to go, okay. Yeah, okay, sure. They're not going to be willing to work with you when you just start going, "Yeah, yeah, 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 yeah," and just start, ranting and raving. So I got to give kudos to APBA. They really did step up, and they've done a great job. And I'm very happy with the service that I have gotten. And I want to play that game again. I really do. And I want to play the 81 seasons. So, sorry, I got off a little off topic there, but why 81? I got 81 for the baseball, and I saw 81. That's when the 49ers played in the Super Bowl. I've always been a big fan of Bill Walsh. I think he is, sorry, Bill Belichick fans. I know Belichick is a genius, but for me, Bill Walsh is, if he's not the smartest coach, he certainly is in the top three. And I would love to replay that Super Bowl. It was the year before the strike. Again, strike. I have something with strikes. I don't know what that is about. But 81, I thought, that's a fun time. And, one of the things, I'm going to go put this book down here. One of the things that I'm really enjoying about looking at these cards, the baseball cards and the football cards, is it really brings back memories. I am remembering players that I have not forgotten about. Maybe I did forget about them, not intentionally, but I'm remembering, oh yeah, I remember Mike Norris, or oh yeah, I remember Rodney Scott, or oh yeah, there's Frank Tavares, and just pulling out names just randomly here. I had their baseball cards, and remember Topps used to have the sticker album. Remember they used to have like the sticker album for the NFL and Major League Baseball for football. I used to get those at 7-Eleven or Red and White, wherever it was, but used to get those stickers and baseball cards for the football and the baseball. And it's just so much fun to be reliving this. And it's not about living in the past. I want to stress that, because I'm sure some people are cynical and they'll say, hey man, you can't go home again. You got to stop living in the past, okay? It's not about living in the past. It's about honoring the past. There's a difference. There is a difference between living in the past. I know that I'm not a young person anymore. You probably can tell by looking at me, and when you see this here, yeah, I understand that. But APBA and games like this, Stratomatic, they give you the opportunity to go back in time, and you get to see these guys again. This is our field of dreams, okay? We're not seeing ghosts in a cornfield, but we're seeing these guys, we're revisiting them again. Hey, how you doing, Bert Blyleven? I mean, Bert's still alive, but, hey, it's so nice to see you, Rod Carew, or for someone who's passed on, Thurman Munson. Oh my God, Thurman gets to run again. Hey, Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron and all these guys that, are our heroes. Walter Johnson, Christy Mathewson, Ty Cobb, all these great players, Willie McCovey, Bob Gibson, so many of them. Fernando Valenzuela, I get to see him again as a young man in his, first season, full season here as a starter, and relive Fernando Mania. And I get to see 1981 as if there was no strike. How cool is that? God knows there have been many times in my life that I have wanted to have a time machine. Like you have no idea, okay? I get to do it. We get to do it with this game, with these games. We get to do it and get away for a few hours, a couple hours. And I'm just so grateful. And I'm grateful that I get to share this love. I mean, I'm late to the party. I've only been doing this for a few months, and yet here I am. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.